First of all, thanks so much for making time for this interview. I know that you're very, very busy. For those who don't know you, could you introduce yourself in a few words?
Yes, I am. I'm Star DeAzlan. I'm a curb recording artist from San Marcos, Texas, and I play country music. And I've been writing and singing music all my life. Started when I was 11 years old, and I've just been playing and singing ever since. It's kind of just been my lifestyle and the way that I know how to live, and really enjoy playing country music. Being from Texas, born and raised here, we're from the South, and we love that music, as I know that you guys do too. So we're just really excited to go up there and share it with you. So yeah.
French fans originally know you thanks to your MySpace. After the single She's Pretty, your new song is Like a Rose. Could you tell us what this song means to you?
Well, She's Pretty, the first single, was a very personal song. Both of them I wrote, and the first one, She's Pretty, is basically about an ex-boyfriend of mine, and I'm sure, many women can relate to that situation of the song and what it says, how, she walked through the door with my ex-boyfriend, and it kind of paints a picture and tells a story of what was going on and what was happening that night in my life. And actually, my ex-boyfriend still plays in the band with me. So he'll be there playing on stage with me, and I'll let everyone guess who he is once we get there. But the other song, Like a Rose, is also one that I wrote, and it was the first song that I ever wrote. And it kind of just tells about maybe like a girl becoming a woman. I wrote it when I was 15, and it kind of just says if you treat your woman right, then she'll bloom and blossom like a rose, and if you don't, then she'll prick you because she has thorns like a rose as well. So, it's kind of a metaphorical kind of song, and we've been playing it here in Texas. It went top 20 on the Texas charts, and I'm glad that you guys been playing it over there and listening to it.
Okay, yes, absolutely. Can you give us any information on when the album is coming out?
Well, for the album, you can expect, hopefully next year, beginning of next year, we'll have an album, maybe even at the end of this year. In other words, I'm really not certain because I want to have a single out first that does very, very well, and that people are, I want to sell albums and I want to sell records, and so right now it's just a matter of time. We've had a couple singles under our belt already, and I think we're going to release maybe one more, and then we'll have an album. So you can expect another single before you see an album.
Okay. Where does your influence in music come from?
I have a lot of influences in music. I sang Spanish music, mariachi music for a very long time, and so I've got some artists in Mexico that I really admire. And in country music, I really love the oldies and the greats, which are Willie Nelson and Loretta Lynn and Tammy Wynette and Tanya Tucker and Buck Owens, and and then on the other hand, I really love Shania Twain, and I love the Dixie Chicks. I have a lot of influences. Mariah Carey is a great vocalist, and Aretha Franklin, sings from her soul. So Elvis Presley, he's of course an icon forever to almost everybody in the music business. So there's just so many, and I'm just thankful to be able to have listened to their music and got to kind of take a little bit from each person.
How will you describe the country music that you play?
I would describe my music as a little bit of a little Texas and a little Nashville with a little traditional. It's still going to be music that it's always going to be music that you can relate to. It's always going to be meaningful lyrics in my songs, and a little traditional. Just easy listening. I make it easy. I make it easy for you.
Oh, thank you. You are Texan, but you have also an Hispanic heritage. Will you use your Hispanic origin to make songs?
Oh, yeah, very much. When I go play up there, and if you're watching the show, you can expect to definitely, hear my original music, and also you can expect to hear a Spanish song or two. And I'll also be performing a French song. So I definitely will utilize my Spanish origin and represent in France.
All right. I know you are also a songwriter. Could you tell us the way to write a new song?
Well, I think that, each song comes with inspiration, and you have to have something happen in your life to where you get inspired to write a song. And actually, there's different ways to write songs, and I just learned a new way a few months ago when I got to go to Nashville and write with amazing writers up there. And, you know, originally it would be myself writing a song about if I was feeling happy, if I was feeling sad, if something happened in my life, I felt I needed to put it down on paper. But when I went to Nashville, I got to meet writers, and in that room, it's a whole different inspiration. You kind of get inspired by each other instead of your own experiences. So you share experiences with each other, and then you kind of feed off of those different experiences, and you get your inspiration from there. So I guess in order to write a new song, you have to be inspired.
Okay. You start singing in Texas. Now you sing nationally and very soon overseas. Did you ever imagine having such beginning at your career?
You know, I've always kind of imagined it because it's what I've wanted to do since I was a little girl. So I've never really imagined myself doing anything else or being anywhere else. And you know, there are some hard times, and there are some times when you say, I don't know if I want to do this anymore because, you know, it's difficult. It's a difficult industry. But then, you know, I had my family and my parents that were really supportive of me, and they kind of gave me that extra push when they saw that I was feeling down. So yeah, I mean, it's surrounded. It's been my life, and music has surrounded me since like I said, I was 11, and since I knew that I wanted to do this. So where I'm at right now, I think I'm very blessed, and it's something that I've been working towards. It's not like it just kind of popped out of nowhere or happened overnight. It was 10 years of hard work to finally get signed with a major record label, and I'm just thankful for that.
Okay. You start singing in a legendary place. Sorry for my bad accent. The Cheatham Street Warehouse. How does it feel coming from such a place?
Well, I think, you know, Cheatham Street Warehouse is a very legendary place. You know, George Strait has played there, and Stevie Ray Vaughan came out of there. Just many of the greats, and it's definitely an honor to have shared the stage with so many legendary people. You know, I feel blessed and, like I said, honored to be from a town like San Marcos where you have this great music coming out of, and you have these places that you can call legendary and that have been a home for many country artists. So yeah, I think it's been a great opportunity for me to have a place like Cheatham Street Warehouse to play shows and get my start and to get known.
All right. Now, could you tell us your George Strait story?
Oh, my George Strait story.
Yes.
I do, I do have a George Strait story. Well, recently, Tommy Foote, which is George Strait's road manager, is my road manager as well. And we recently went to the Dallas. You know who the Dallas Cowboys are? The football
Yes.
team. Okay. Well, we went to the grand opening of their new stadium, and George Strait and Reba McEntire, Leanne Womack, Blake Shelton, everybody was playing on that stage that night. And, you know, I got the opportunity to go out there, and I had backstage passes, and I got to do the whole 9 yards. And I know the guys pretty well. You know, I hadn't met George Strait yet, but I do know the band members because I played with them when I was younger. And so I got to hang out in the bus and just enjoy the show from the side spot, which was the best. And during the show, after the show, everyone had left, and it was time to get sorry, but we were in the bus just eating pizza and telling stories and catching up. And all of a sudden I heard a Journey song, the band Journey, and it wasn't Journey singing, it was Leanne Womack singing it. So I said, well, what in the heck is Leanne Womack doing singing a Journey song, and where is that music coming from? Of course, I took it upon myself to find out exactly where this music was coming from, so I walked off the bus, and I went to the back, and there was this tent, and it was kind of an exclusive private tent, it looked like. And there was these big security guards standing there by the tent, you know, making sure that no one snuck in that wasn't supposed to be back there. So I poked my head in, and I said, can I get in with this? And I was holding up my backstage pass, and he said, no, you have to have a special wristband. So, of course, I walked away, you know, went back in the bus, and I was just hoping, and I was like, gosh, I got to find a way to get in there. Well, about 10 minutes later, George Strait's road manager, Tommy Foote, comes in and gets me, and he says, Star, come with me, stay next to me, close to me, I got to show you something. So we went back outside the bus, and he took me into this tent where I had been wanting to go, and I was like, yes, thank God I got in here. Well, when I get in there, there's people doing karaoke, and they're singing to different songs, and I can't even remember which song was playing, but all I can remember is looking up at the karaoke stage, and front and center stage is Reba McEntire and Blake Shelton singing a duet, and Reba McEntire has on a huge white wig. It's kind of like an afro wig, and Blake Shelton has on this 80s kind of punk rocker wig, you know, and they're singing a song, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't believe, no way this is happening right now. So I turn to Tommy and I say, well, where's George Strait at? And he points right in front of me, and probably about 4 or 5 feet away from me is George Strait. And I didn't recognize him at all because he had a wig on, and he had, you know, this Jamaican wig with braids, and it was just the funniest, most hilarious thing I'd ever seen. And so it's like, oh my gosh, I finally get to meet George Strait, and he's wearing a wig, and this is just too funny. So, you know, a couple minutes later, he walks out of the tent. He walks back in with his hat slanted to the side. He's a little sweaty. He comes in just as I imagine George Strait to look, you know, just so handsome and perfect, and I get to shake his hand and meet him, and that's my George Strait story.
Yeah, great story. What was your first reaction to your contract deal with Curb Records?
My first reaction was shocked, happy. It was very surreal. You know, it didn't feel like it was really happening, and it took me a while to sink in that I had just got signed with one of the major labels, you know, in the country. And I think, you know, I was definitely proud, really excited to be able to get an opportunity like that and to perform in front of somebody like Mike Curb.
Okay. You were a part of the 2008 CMA Festival. Was it an important experience for you?
Oh, absolutely. You know, those things are very important, especially for an artist like myself that likes to be hands-on with your fans and, you know, likes to get to know everybody that's enjoying your music. And it's definitely an important part of the year to go to Nashville and to partake in signing autographs, making sure you meet everybody, you know, making sure you get those interviews in, you know, because we want to not only get to know the fans, but we want to get to know you guys, the people that are at the stations, people that want to do interviews so that you can get more exposure and so that you can get to know each other. So it's definitely an important event for me.
Okay.
And I was happy to be there.
Okay. Who is your favorite country music artist?
Oh, you know, that's a very hard question because there's so many great artists out there. But I'm going to have to pull out the traditional card and say that it would have to be, even though I've never met him, it would have to be Willie Nelson because he's from Texas. I just think he's the coolest guy. He's been around for so long. He makes great music. You know, he just seems like such a down-to-earth type of real guy, and I've always just loved him.
Yes, he's a great singer. You will soon perform live in France during the Country Music Festival of Craponne sur Arzon on July 26th. What does this event mean to you?
Oh, I can't even express it. You know, just when you asked me that, my heart kind of dropped because I can't wait to get there. I really can't. It's been the highlight of my year. I've never been to Europe. I've never sang in front of anyone that is French, I don't think. And so I'm very excited to bring my music just so that you guys can hear it. And it definitely means the world to me, also because I want to practice my French, and I need you guys to help me out. So
I'm willing to help you.
Hopefully when I'm singing on stage, I won't get any boos because of my French. So you'll have to excuse my my pronunciation when I sing, but I hope I'm doing a good job. But yes, I just cannot wait to get there and share the stage with so many other artists that are going to be playing there that weekend. And it's definitely going to be an honor for me and a privilege to play for you. And I can't wait. I can't express how happy I am.
Yeah, we are excited to hear your music, so there is no problem at all.
Well, thank you.
Is there any luck we can see you more in Europe in the upcoming years?
Yes, I'm going to be touring, doing a radio tour, which is just going to radio stations and doing interviews and stuff like that. And right now we are in the works of getting on tour with someone. We don't have any specific names yet or anything, but it's definitely going to be somebody that everyone's familiar with and I hope that, you guys can see me on the road soon. And you can always just check out my MySpace and see where I'm at and if I'm going to be in a city near you.
Okay, good news. I know your parents own a restaurant in San Marco. I know it will sound like a cliché, but what is your favorite food?
Oh, that's one of the hardest questions that I ever get asked because I love food and I eat like crazy. My dad was a Mexican gourmet chef, and so I definitely love Mexican food. In fact, that's what I was just eating. But gosh, I think my favorite food would have to be a great big steak and potatoes. I think that's my favorite food, is just a nice medium rare steak with a nice glass of wine, which I'm looking forward to drinking some wine in France. And, yes, big steak. That's my favorite food.
You have been involved with NASCAR diversity program. NASCAR is typically an American sport. For those in France who don't know what the diversity program, can you tell us about it?
Absolutely. In NASCAR is definitely an American sport, and it's very popular amongst country music fans, and it's got its own fans as well. But it's basically just a bunch of cars racing, trying to get to the finish line first, and they go as fast as they can. I would say the slowest they go is 170 miles an hour around the track. Right now, I'm working with NASCAR, and we're kind of doing a development program, and we're trying to get more of the, since I'm Hispanic, we're trying to get more of the Hispanic Spanish viewers to become fans of NASCAR. So we're trying to expand the fan base of NASCAR right now, and Mike Curb is a big supporter of NASCAR, and he's got different cars in the race, and he's got my face and logo all over his cars. So if you can't catch me at a show, you can catch me on the NASCAR track.
Okay. Will you plan to drive the car next time?
Well, I got offered to ride in the car. I don't think they were going to let me drive it by myself, but they asked me if I wanted to go in the passenger seat, and it was an honor being asked, but I just couldn't do it because I think 170 to 200 miles an hour is a little too fast for me. I do like adventure, but it's just a little too fast.
Okay. It was a nice car, by the way. Concerning sport, I saw some picture of you doing the Dallas Cowboy à la Modom show of 2007. As I'm a huge Dallas Cowboy fan, are you a fan too? I guess yes.
I am definitely a Dallas Cowboy fan, of course.
What was like to be a part of it?
It was really fun. I got to share the stage with the cheerleaders, and they did a dance to my song called I Like Me a Cowboy. And I wrote a song, especially for the Dallas Cowboys, and I got to perform it on that stage, and I got to see all the guys come up there, the big old linebackers and the quarterback, and so it was definitely a fun experience. I got to meet, a lot of great people, and it's always nice being a part of something that big.
Okay. What kind of advice could you give to someone who wants to become a country singer?
The advice that I would give would be follow your dreams, aim high and shoot for your goals. And if someone tells you can't do it, don't listen to them. You just keep on trucking, and you keep playing your music, and you be real to yourself, and you be real to your music, and don't change for anybody. And as long as you keep, you keep putting out your music, the more people are gonna hear it, and the more they're gonna listen. And anybody can do it. Dreams do come true. Mine isn't finished yet, but the beginning of it has already come true, and that's being a major signed artist. And I used to tell a few people, my dream was to be an international star, and they said the chances are 1 in a million. Maybe you should shoot a little lower. And I said I don't think so. Anything's possible. And here I am going to Europe and bringing my music to the world. So I think anybody can do it if you just keep your mind on it.
Okay. Each time I interview someone, I ask the person what she thinks about another person. In your case, it will be a country singer. So what Star DeAzlan think about another top Texan female artist, Miranda Lambert?
Well, first of all, I think she's a lucky girl because she's dating Blake Shelton. And if they're still dating, I'm not sure. I heard some rumors. But think she's a lucky girl for that because Blake Shelton's a handsome man. I also think she's a very talented performer, a very talented singer, an artist, and portrays herself in a unique light. And she's like no one else out there. And she's got a very distinguished voice. When I turn on the radio and I hear Miranda Lambert, I know it's Miranda Lambert, and I respect her for that. So yeah, I think she's great. I love her music.
Okay. What could we hope for you in the future?
In the future, you can, hope or look forward to seeing me performing, more shows, hopefully near you. You can look forward to another single. You can look forward to seeing me on the Grand Ole Opry soon. You can just look forward to definitely more music and constant updates on my MySpace. You can look for new videos. My main goal is for every album that comes out in country music, I would love to match with a Spanish album as well. So we've got a lot of goals, and right now we're working for them. And, we hope that we get all the support that we can from everybody.
Okay. Can you say a few words to your fan?
Absolutely. What I would like to say is just I cannot wait to get to Europe. I cannot wait to come to Craponne. And like I said, it's been the highlight of my year. I look forward to meeting every single one of you and look forward to putting on a great show, hopefully, for all of you. And, it means the world to me to have fans. Fans are a lot different in France than they are in the United States is what I hear, and I hear they are just wonderful and couldn't be better. So I cannot wait to get there and like I said, meet every one of you.
Thank you so much, Stars. And, I listened just to music on your MySpace.
Uh-huh.
And I really, really like it. So,
Thank you so much for the interview. Absolutely. Anytime. You can call me anytime.
Okay, no problem. I will come backstage to Craponne sur Arzon.
Yes, please come backstage and we'll chat. And definitely would like to meet you in person. And I can't wait to get there.
Thank you so much. I wish you the best for the future.
Thank you, darling.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.